If you're running a CPA firm, you know the deal. The pressure to grow is always on. But what if there was a way to scale your operations without all the usual headaches of hiring and overhead? Well, we're about to dive into a powerful strategy that's totally changing the game for firms just like yours.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Every single firm owner wants to bring in more clients, grow that revenue, but the thought of going through endless recruitment, paying high salaries, benefits, not to mention office overhead, it can be a total nightmare. So how do you break that cycle?
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the growth dilemma that pretty much every firm faces. Then we'll introduce the white label solution, get into the nitty-gritty of how it works, address the big questions about quality and security, and finally, show you the incredible strategic advantage this whole model offers. Right, let's start with a little reality check. Trying to grow a CPA firm the old-fashioned way is tough, and I'm willing to bet these challenges are going to sound very, very familiar to you. Do any of these hit close to home? You know, the cost of a new hire is so much more than just their salary. You've got benefits, training, equipment, and your current team, they're probably already stretched thin, especially during those insane peak seasons. Oh, and trying to find the right talent? That can take months. These are the things that can stop your growth dead in its tracks. So, if the old model is feeling a little broken, what's the alternative? Well, that brings us right to the white label solution. It's a really elegant and modern answer to this whole growth puzzle.
So let's be super clear on what this actually is. White label accounting simply means you partner up with an expert team that handles the back-end work, reconciliations, financial statements, audit prep, but the final product is delivered to your client under your firm's name. As far as your client is concerned, it's all you. It's kind of like your secret weapon for unlimited capacity.
Now check this out. This slide really puts it into perspective. Look at the difference here. With in-house staff, you're looking at high fixed costs and a pretty rigid structure. Need to scale up for tax season? Good luck finding a great person who only wants to work for a few months. But with a white label team, your costs are lower and the scalability is completely flexible. You can ramp up or down whenever you need to. That gives you some serious agility. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work in the real world, day to day? Let's break down the mechanics of how you turn an offshore team into a totally seamless part of your operation. Honestly, it really is this simple. Your relationship with your client doesn't change one bit. They send their work to you, same as always. Then you pass the grunt work, the execution level tasks, over to your white label partner. They get it done, send it back to you for a final review, and then you deliver that polished, finished product to your client. It's just a beautifully streamlined process. And here's one of the hidden perks, which is just brilliant. When you partner with a team in a different time zone like India, your firm is basically operating around the clock. You can hand off work at the end of your day and find it sitting in your inbox the next morning. This just massively speeds up your turnaround times. But of course, none of this matters if you can't trust the expertise. And this isn't just about outsourcing random tasks. It's about outsourcing to pros who are deeply familiar with U.S. standards. We're talking about people with a strong command of app and real-world experience with U.S. audit requirements. That way, you know the work is always going to be compliant. Okay, let's talk about the two biggest questions that are probably on your mind right now: quality control and data security. Because let's face it, when it's your firm's name on the line, there is absolutely zero room for compromise. Any partner you even think about working with has to treat these as non-negotiables. They need to live and breathe U.S. standards, have ironclad data security protocols to protect that sensitive client info, and consistently produce documentation that's 100% ready for an auditor's review. This right here is the foundation of trust. And that right there is the peace of mind you're really buying. It's the confidence to actually take that vacation, to focus on landing that big client, or to simply go home on time during tax season, knowing that all the back-end work is being handled with the exact same care you'd give it yourself. So, how is that quality actually maintained? It's all about a clear management structure. Think of it this way. You've got a controller who's looking at the high-level strategy and compliance, making sure everything is audit-ready. Then you have an accounting manager handling the day-to-day workflow. This dual approach makes sure nothing ever falls through the cracks. All right, now that we've covered how quality is guaranteed, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. This isn't just a small operational tweak, it's a fundamental shift that creates a seriously powerful new strategic advantage for your firm. When you put it all together, the impact is just huge. You get the scalability to say yes to any client that walks through the door. You get cost effectiveness that goes straight to your bottom line, boosting your profit margins. You maintain high quality, and this is crucial, your brand integrity stays perfectly intact.
But here it is, the real takeaway, the ultimate prize. By offloading all that routine, time-sucking execution work, you and your core team are freed up. And freed up for what? To focus on high-value advisory services, to become true strategic partners for your clients. That is how you build a firm that's ready for the future. So I'll leave you with this question. Just for a moment, forget about the constraints of hiring and overhead. If you had a flexible, expert team on demand, giving you what is essentially unlimited capacity, what could your firm truly achieve? Just think about that.